After evolving and adapting after countless fights, most of the infections a part of the Infection Alliance grew stronger. The one beyond wanted to see which was the strongest now that they had all grown. Was it still the Darling? Or would a new champion arise out of the Infection Alliance? This is just one experiment I planned. I still have many more for the future, all in the pursuit towards the truth. Subscribe to stay up to date with my research. Alright, what's up? Welcome back for another Infection War tournament. We're going to be doing another tournament like the title applies. It's going to be a three-way for each round, so 3 infection mods versus each other for each round. So let's hop right into it and get started. One quick note though, is I did add a whole bunch more mods since the last time, so there's probably going to be a whole bunch of different like crazy creatures and shit just throughout the whole video. Just like the last time with the dragons, but going to be more intense with like Mozzie mobs and stuff like that. So let me go find the structure I want to do this first round at, and I will see you then. All right, so we found the area I'm going to do the first round at. It's going to be between Verdant Growth, Brainium, and Entomophobia. So Entomophobia and Verdant Growth have had like an update or two since the last time we've done this, so let's check it out and get started. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We have a dragon over there, structure, and structure. But that's all that we have over here. So, all right, so here we are for Entomophobia. Chuck down a few of them. There you go. You're the captain for the nest swarm. All right, here we are for Brainium. We're going to chuck down Brain right there. Should attach to that cow. And then just chuck down 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So now we just have 4 of the random Brainlings all out and about. Maybe they'll control a dragon. Who knows? Anyway, let's do the final one, Verdant Growth. I left that one to be last because I wanted to at least give the other two some sort of time. So I'm going to go do that now. All right, here we are. Final finishing touch for this. Chuck that down and boom, there we go. Also, let me get rid of this tree real quick because I don't want it to grow over the beam because then that'd stop it spreading. And I don't want it to stop spreading right now. So there we go. I do have Jade installed. Good. So there we go. As you can see, Verdant Growth has started to spread, right? Yeah, Verdant Rooted Mud. We got, it should be spreading slow. Is it? Yeah, over here slowly. So what is the insects looking like? Still see them. All right, we still fair few of them. They're just chilling right here. I don't really know what we're doing what, but I guess we will see eventually. Slightly. Oh, we see the egg I threw floating around it. So yeah, as more mobs go around it, it will start doing that. Another brain right there. All right, I'm back. I just wanted to check in real quick. It's still like hour and 21 minutes left, but just wanted to check and see how they were doing. So we got some bugs over here now. All right. I think there might be a thing over there. We'll go look at that in a second. And Verdant Growth hasn't spread too much. I mean, it's definitely spreading. We've infected some trees, but it's going slowly. A lot slower than I thought it would. But it is what it is. It's still spreading. No, okay, so there is no hive heart just yet. All right, good to know. Good to know. All right, so honestly, it's been quite a while. This has been going on for like 7 hours. They are massive. The hop lily things. I don't know what they're called. But it still doesn't look like too much has gone down when it comes to the other two infections. So let's do. So yeah, we still have the dudes over here, the zombie myotic zombies or whatever. But do we have the still no hive heart? So I don't know what condition it takes for them the hive heart to get made. Because I would have assumed it would have been made by now. It's been over 7 hours. And then same thing with the brains. They're literally still in the same spots. It's been going on for a while. Like I said, I don't really see a need to continue it on anymore. I know some people don't always like when I go off like the area infected, but that's kind of one of the main things I have to go off of right now. I can't really go off of anything else because this is it. And the Myotic and the Brainium haven't done anything still. Brainium definitely wasn't gonna win. It's like literally stuck at the same spots. But you know, it makes sense for Entomophobia or Verdant Growth to win. So Verdant Growth definitely is the winner of this round. So let me go pull up the scoreboard real quick and we will move on to the next round after that. I have no clue what it is just yet because I forgot. Oh, one quick note is I know they might seem kind of unfair, but they are basically completely random. So they were random against each other. I didn't really choose it. So anyway, let's go to the next round and get started, like I said. During the first round, nothing really happened, with Brainium and Entomophobia not doing too much besides having some mobs. Brainium mostly broke, so Verdant Growth took the lead and passed round 1, moving on to the semifinals. Let's move on to round 2 and see who will move along to the semifinals along with Verdant Growth. All right, so here we are for round number 2. It's like the biome round. Moss overgrowth versus desertification versus pathogen, which all three of them are like biome type things. So let's get started and place them all down right away. We're going to place the moss last because it's the one that gets started the fastest. And because we're still only on the round of 16 or whatever this one's properly called, the intro rounds, well, we're not going to give it too many advanced phases. We're only going to advance its phase like once or twice. So yeah. Let us go and chuck these down. I will see y'all on each one. All right, so we're in the jungle. Let's place down one infector. There we go. We got the singular infector now. Yep, they're gonna go around spreading the infections. So hopefully the jungle is big enough to get a proper infection off. All right, and now for desertification, we're gonna head like all the way to the other side of here. I want them to be fairly spread out. And we're gonna place down 4 sand blocks. Not gonna be too far spread apart. We're gonna do one right there. Okay, there we go. Good. Good, 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 good. Hopefully they can properly spread because it said it wasn't going to be able to spread, but I feel like it can. That one's already started, so that is a good looking. Now for mossy overgrowth, we're gonna go on top of here. I know it's kind of like a height difference, but I don't feel like it's too big of a like advantage. But yeah, there we go. And we'll let it go for a little bit and only advance it twice. So I'm gonna give it like a few hours first off to do it, and then we will advance. So we're gonna go chill over here at the desert first. So let me go over there. At the start, the desert slowly spread into the bamboo forest, fighting for land against the moss. As the desert and moss started to touch, the moss attempted to spread into the desert, but the desert wouldn't let it. The sand kept piling up and up and up, taking over the moss, not letting any green survive in the desert. Soon, the desert will take over all of the moss. All right, I'm back, and it's only been like an hourish, and moss is already taken over quite a bit. There's a little bit of the pathogen stuff, not too much. Moss, yeah, Moss definitely won this. I mean, look at this. Like both areas are basically taken over by the moss. Then we head down here, and I mean, sure, we have this little desert area, but even then, I mean, it's growing still. I don't know. Maybe the moss can't take the desert. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to give it the desertification. It's definitely taking a bit longer to get started. Moss overgrowth is just hella like fast, but it hasn't taken the desert area. So I feel like it can't, or I don't know. I just feel like it can't. It definitely would have taken it by now if it could. Yeah, I'm gonna give desertification the points. Eventually, it's gonna submerge all this into a desert and eventually get over there. So yeah, 100% gonna be desertification. You can say I'm biased or something like that, but that's just what I think. I think desertification deserves the win compared to moss overgrowth. So let me pull up the score sheet thing, bracket board, and then we will move on to round 3. During the second round, pathogen didn't really do much. It was mostly desertification and moss overgrowth that have fought. Moss might have spread a whole bunch, and really fast, a lot faster than the other two infections. But still, it couldn't take over the deserts area. So desertification won that round and moved on to the semifinals to fight against verdant growth, along with 2 other infections not known yet. Let's move on to round 3 to see who the next opponents are. All right, so here we are for round number 3. We're going to be doing it in the Primordial Cave. It's just the random biome I chose for this time, because that's what I'm going to keep doing it. Random biome every time, slash structure. And I've never done one down in the Alex Cave, so I wanted to test it out. And I think this is one of the cooler ones with the dinosaurs. So this time, for round 3, it's going to be from another world, Spore versus Skullcord, the OG3 infection mod. So let's get started and place them all down. We're gonna do it from another world last because it can despawn. So yeah. Anyway, all right. So over here we're gonna chuck down the proto hive mind, boom, and give it to 3 and 1 mound. Please, 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 please. All right, there we go. Skull cord's all done. Perfect. All right, it's somewhere. I'm not quite too sure where it could be. It's somewhere out there. Hopefully it comes down here. I guess we'll see. I'll look later. The horde had grown massively, fighting for territory against the alien beast that surrounded its infected lands. Off on its own, the spore had spread into 2 different areas. It had a hive mind, along with a cave system, completely covered in the fungal mushroom infection. Not too many mobs, but the spore still had a lot of land. right, so the alien thing is down here now. Good. That's all I wanted to see if it was down here, not yet. But Skulk is also spreading a fair little bit, as you can see. Where'd the alien thing go? 3,000. Wow, it's getting pretty whooped. Like pretty bad if we're being honest. I'm pretty sure it's just the alien beast and everything like that are doing too much work. Did it die? Oh, it might have died. Damn. Let's check out Spore. Still not fully encased. We got a womb and two. Oh, these are the new wombs. Okay, those are the new wombs. So we'll get two calamities. That is really big for them. Spore didn't spread fast, but it was strong. It had fully encased its hive mind in protective casing. It thought it would be enough to protect it. It wasn't. As a preemptive measure, Spore spawned two wombs to try to make a guard. They never managed to spawn. No calamities ever reach maturity. This time, Spore stood no chance against Skulk or the aliens. Alright, so it's been going on for like 7 to 8ish hours, something like that, and it has massively infected the cave. There's some from another world stuff, there's the skull cord stuff. I don't know if it's managed to reach the spore yet. I don't think it has. There's still quite a fair bit of area they need to cover before they can reach here, so let's chill back over here now, and I'm gonna Throne of the World had started its spread, its infection, not taking over blocks itself, but layering something on top of them. They had also created tunnels that they could use to travel around. The smaller aliens, that is, like the heads. It didn't happen much underground, but on the surface, the aliens took control of a whole bunch of the skulk, assimilating it. Didn't happen underground, but on the surface, the alien assimilated the very essence of the skulk, making even the skulk believe that it was part of itself, not the aliens. Alright, so it's only been another few hours, but fair few stuff has happened. First off, there is a fuck ton of from another world stuff. I don't know if there's any creatures from it, but there's like a lot of the infection. The dragon is stuck over here. I don't know what they're doing, but they're just stuck flying right there. That seems to have caused, they're eating it away and causing water to fall down. Okay. Guessing there's a lot of skull cord up here. What is this? What is this? Skulk Guardian. Oh, okay. That's where Yeah, there's a lot of skull cord shit up here. What are these? Oh, there is from another world stuff. It's really laggy up here. Oh my god. Is there a lot of from another world stuff up here? Yeah, there's some from another world stuff up here. So it kind of like transferred to up here. So up here is where the most from another world stuff is. There's some fungal shit up here too. I have no clue what effect it just got. I like the stuff that appeared on my screen though. It looks cool. Did the wombs hatch yet? Yeah, they've been hatched. So then I wonder where the calamities ended up going. Because I don't see any anywhere. Maybe they went to the surface. Maybe they got jumped and killed really fast. I have no clue. Okay, so yeah, there is still from another world stuff down here though. There's a whole bunch of beasts and everything chilling over here. Even though the main infection is over here. But you know, it does not matter where they're at. They're still alive. It was a tough fight, but Skulk managed to win due to its overwhelming spread and swarming tactics. If it wasn't for the Skulk's ability to spread so fast and spawn so many mobs, overwhelming the other two infections, it wouldn't have stood a chance against the strength of the other two. If only something managed to stop the Skulk in the beginning, not letting it cascade far enough and gain enough points, mass, to grow endlessly. So, yep, that's round number 3. The winner of this, you gotta give me a moment to decide. All I know is it is most likely not going to be Spore solely due to the fact that the the hive mind got taken out. I don't know what took it out, but something took it out, causing a hive tumor to spawn instead. So, yeah, I think I think Skullcord is gonna be the winner for this. If the hive mind didn't get taken out, I probably would have had Spore win it, but because the hive mind got taken out, I do 100% think Skulk won it. Yeah, even another that was another hive mind right there. That one got taken out as well. So I 100% think Skulk deserves the win this time. If something else different happened, like if the alien was still alive and other stuff happened, I probably would have gave it to From Another World or Spore. But Skulk has just infected so much of the area down here, took out the hive mind over there. I'm assuming it was Skulk, could have been From Another World, and it also took out the other hive mind up there. So I do 100% think Skulk deserves the win for this round. Now, if there were more hive minds and everything like that all bundled together, and it wasn't like the first round, but we had the higher tiers of the other two mods, I think they would have won. Mostly due to the fact that Skullcord can't really do anything to the higher tiers of them because of how strong they are and stuff. But yeah, I do think Skullcord deserves the win this time. So let me know if you agree, don't agree in the comments. I personally think that. So let's move on to round number 4. I'll pull up the scoreboard real quick and then we'll go do it. The 3 classic infections: fungal infection, From Another World, and Skullcord. You know, pretty classic fight. The 3 oldest infection mods that I can think of besides Escape and Run. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting fight. I'm not too surprised Skullcord managed to win that. Skullcord is like I've always said, one of my favorite infection mods, and like honestly one of the stronger like ones when it comes to spreading and stuff like that, and like how many units it can spawn. So yeah, it's gonna move on to the semifinals as well, into the first round for it. So let's move on to round 4 and see who is gonna move on to round 2 for the semifinals. Because the way I had to do that was kind of weird. The last contestant for round 1 won't be revealed until round 7. So yeah, let's move on to the next round, round 4. All right, so here we are for round number 4. This round is going to be between Me Alliance, Phaedosis, and Withering Away. So let's hop right into it and get us started. Okay, perfect. They are above the ground. That is an awesome spot. So they're right there. So then for... Oh, there's a dragon over there as well, because there's some buildings over there. I'm not too sure what they are. All right, there's Phaedosis. All right, so we're over here now for Withering Away. Now we just do begin Wither Infection. There we go. It has started. The Wither. Yep, there we go. It's going through little animation. And yep, there we go. Up there, they have us started to spawn and do everything in general. Withering Away started to approach onto Phaedrus' territory. Phaedrus didn't retaliate that much in the beginning, just spawning a few of the parasites here and there, attempting to hold back the Wither. Phaedrus was just trying to buy time so it could spread and grow stronger, which was the right move. All right, so it has been 4 hours. The world is pretty laggy. So far, it looks like Withering Away is winning, but not definite just yet. Phaedosis still has a chance to come back 100%. I think this one got taken care of. Yeah, but there's still always a chance of another one spawning in. Oh, nope. They're still right here. It's still surviving. So yeah, we'll see. Phaedosis still has a chance to come back. And then the Alliance, from what I can see, yeah, everything's still going up. And then the Alliance, are they still alive? Is there any Mies doing stuff? Yeah, there are still some Mies doing some stuff. Okay, that is good. Phase 2. So if they win this, obviously for the next round, I'll start them in phase 2 or something like that. But I'm gonna progressively upgrade them if they keep on winning. But that's only if they keep on winning. There's a chance that they do lose, but I guess we'll see. Right now they're getting jumped by Phaedosis, but Phaedosis mobs are pretty weak compared to them if it's only one Phaedosis mob. After growing enough, Phaedosis was on the offense, attacking the Mii's base, not letting any survive. The Mii would be wiped out after the Phaedosis attacked. Phaedosis was ruthless, not leaving any survivors, not even any of the cannons. It occupied the very me base, turning it into a new fort, a Pharos fort. Alright, after the fight between the Withering Away, Me Alliance, and Pharos came out on top. I'm not too surprised. Me Alliance can be strong, but it's not the strongest infection mob because like once you beat a certain amount, they can't spawn anymore, and it's like they can't spread too much. But like if there were higher phases like phase 3, it probably would have won. Withering Away is the same thing. It's like not too strong, and it's a weak against water and like the snow. So yeah, no surprise, Pharos won, along with it being as strong as it is. Pharos probably won't win and like go that far of the next tournament, mainly because it got a recent revamp and like restarted from the very beginning. So there's only like 5 mobs in it currently. So yeah. Anyway, it's gonna be going to round 2 for the semifinals, and it's gonna be the first contestant for round 2. So let's move on to round 5, and I will see you then. All right, here we are for round number 5. It's gonna be between Dawn or Death, The Flesh That Hates, and Eye Infection. So let's get started and spawn them in. I don't know what order I'm gonna do them in just yet. I will figure it out, but yeah, let's go do it. All right, so here we are over here for Dawn of Death, and there it goes. Spawned and everything should have gotten started. We can chuck that, push them all, and it should start spreading soon. As a thing of like good luck, 1, 2. Phase 3 just to be safe. It should be good. So now let's go move on to the Flesh That Hates. Alright, so here we are over at where we're going to place the Flesh That Hates, right here on the beach side. Another one of these are going to spawn somewhere. I'm not too sure. If I see it, I'll kill it, but otherwise I'm just going to leave it be because I'm not going to scour for it. Let's move on to the final one, the Eye Infection. All right, so here we go. I cannot speak. Here we are over here for the Eye Infection. We're gonna chuck the tree right there, and there it goes. And then we're just gonna chuck 1 satellite right there, and boom, there it goes. 3 flying eyes managed to find the terminal. They weren't strong, but their non-stop attack did something to the terminal. After attacking for so many nights in a row, the eyes managed to kill the terminal, permanently cutting off Dawn of Death's infection. If Dawn of Death had enough time, they could have amassed troops to help defend it, but the eyes managed to make it almost instantly, not leaving any time for Dawn of Death to create its monstrosities, like the assimilated Ender Dragon. Even though the eyes managed to kill Dawn of Death early on, the Flesh That Hates was no easy prey. It had managed to grow fast enough to completely destroy the eyes. They stood no chance. Even after having been burnt down, losing a whole bunch of its territory, there were still so many of the Flesh That Hates mobs. They wanted to kill everything, leaving nothing left in the world. The eye stood no chance. It would soon become part of the flesh. All right, pretty easy round. It was between Dawn of Death, Eye Infection, and the Flesh That Hates. Not too surprised. I honestly thought Dawn of the Death would have a bit more of like a role in that, but it didn't. It kind of died really fast. So it was down to the Eye and the Flesh That Hates, and the Flesh That Hates obviously was going to end up winning. It's the Flesh That Hates. It's a lot stronger than the other two because it can have protection. Like once it reaches a certain phase, it can't die ever. So yeah. Let's move on to round 6 and see who the last contestant for the second round of the semifinals will be. And then we can see who the last one for round 1 will be as well. All right, here we are for round number 6. It's going to be the Dulling versus Prion versus Abomination. So let's get right into it and get started. There's a lot of stuff going on over here already. We got a dragon, there's Coliseum, there's a Cyclops somewhere over there. So all that over there. So I'm gonna like make sure I don't spawn near any of the big mobs. So let me figure out where I want to spawn them and I'll be right back. We got Medusa over here too. That's what that is. All right. So anyway, here, gonna check down the hive. I always forget you gotta spawn like 2 of these down with it as well. There we go. All right, let's go move on to Abomination now. All right, here we are. We're gonna set it to the first period. Boom. And then hopefully these work during period number 1. We have the Infester. And then we have the Injector. And there we go. This will spawn and spread the stuff. So moving on to the final one, we're gonna do the Dulling, and all of them are in their like base forms. They're not like any stronger tier. See, there it started going. But we will see if Abomination can survive long enough to get to higher tier. All right, and then we're gonna do kind of farther away for the Dulling because it's kind of overpowered. Then a boom. And there it goes. Your only source of protection is gone. You have their attention now. Right, your eulogy. Alright, and then here we go. We will spawn the probe right here. And there it starts to spread everything. And then we will also spawn. Okay, did the wrong one. I meant to spawn in the dull missionary. There we go. There we go. The Dulling made its move on Prion first. Prion might have had a lot of starved and troops to help defend, but they stood no chance against the diverse troops of the Dulling, with each having its own unique ability. They put up a good fight, lasting for a while, but eventually the Dulling and its troops managed to destroy the hive, cutting off Prion, not letting it infect any more lands. The entire battlefield was destroyed, non-stop explosions at the center, which was the hive. All right, so it's been like 2-ish hours, already pretty laggy. So Prion was wiped out. Yeah, I don't see the hive anywhere. They had a big war going on there. The Dulling is just spread out and about a whole bunch, and then they have whatever the hell that is. I can't tell if Abominations is still spreading or not. Let's go look over there. No, they are still here. Okay, let's chill over here then and let them continue spreading. Honestly surprised they've barely spread at all. But, I mean, I guess it is what it is. So, I'm gonna chill right here. It's phase... What did I just get? What the hell? I don't know what effect I just got. It started to get fighting as soon as I got over here. I don't know what spawned. It was like something from the Prion. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill over here and see if they can last against the Dulling, or if the Dulling is gonna take the crown for this round. While attacking the other two infections, the Dulling had also made its own home base. It had created its own version of the Tower of Babylon, a tower reaching to the very heavens itself, with angels guarding the inside. Who knows what the purpose the Dulling made this for? Only that it could not be good. The Dulling must be wiped out early, before they manage to advance, and can adapt to anything. The Dulling. The Dulling spawned in Abomination's very territory, converting the lands into its own. They made pillars in the center of the infection, almost taunting Abominations, saying that they weren't strong enough to stop them. Abominations proved them wrong, with them managing to take back the towers for their own. But that didn't stop the Dulling from having troops in their lands. It was destroyed and filled with the Dulling's troops. Even some bosses were there. The Dullworm, eating the very world around it, and the Terraformer doing the same thing, changing everything into the Dulling. The Dulling wanted to destroy and eat this very world, turning it into a cold, lifeless place. Compared to any other infection, the Dulling was worse. It didn't eat to grow itself. All right, so it has been like 13-ish hours, and it's safe to say the world has gone through a whole bunch of stuff. We got that giant ass thing over there, big biome full of stuff. So honestly, I think I'm gonna have to give the win to the Dulling. I know it looks like Abomination has a whole bunch of land, but Dulling has all of that, and then it also has 3 bosses. So yeah, it has learned how to bend the shadows into armor. They now have 50% damage reduction when standing in the dark. Like, that's insane. So yeah, I do think the Dulling managed to win this round, and we'll move on to the next like phase of it. So let's move on to round number 7, which I think is probably the final round for like the first phase stuff. I know calling it phase, it's not like anything different's gonna happen in the second one. It's just gonna like move on to like closer to the final winner. So anyway, I will see y'all when I have round 7 already. Alright, Patreon folks, hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna stop recording because it's already 12 hours, and yeah, peace out, and hope y'all have a good rest of the day, night, evening, and thank y'all. All right. So between Prion, Abomination, and Dungling, Dungling won, no surprise. Abomination came kind of close, but I still think Dungling came out on top, mainly due to like its units and how a lot stronger they are and stuff like that. So yeah, I like them both, but I feel like Dungling deserved that win 100%. I wasn't surprised Prion lost. It hasn't had updates in a while. Plus, it's also not like too big of a infection fighting mod. For other ones, it's more like a vanilla one you fight against in survival. But yeah, the only one, so let's move on to round 7 and see who the last contestant will be for round 1 in the semifinals. All right, so here we are for round 7, the final round of this first little phase, whatever you can want to call it. I don't really know. And it's only going to be 2 this time because there's only enough infection mods for 2. The like bootleg, escape and run, and necro rooted. So let's get started and place them down right away. It might take me a minute to figure out how to use the bootleg escape and run because it's been a minute. All right, there we go. It worked. Oh, it has to be at world barrier integrity 70. I'm guessing that's like the phases, rounds, whatever you want to call it. Like it goes down 10% each round. So there is the end parasites, and it will start spreading and doing whatever it wants to do. Yep, spawning more and more. So let's go spawn necro rooter now to not give them too big of an unfair head start. All right, here we are over here, placing down the whatever the name of it is called, the necro herzican fart, how the fuck you pronounce it, to start the spread of the necro root. So there it goes, spreading. I had to put it to its first phase. It's now in the seed stage, so we're gonna see as it grows and everything like that. So I think to start off, because I know that they will like be able to spread and everything, I want to go chill more over. What the hell? Never mind. I want to chill over here because this is end parasites attack Necroroot almost instantly, giving it no time to advance and grow its units. It died almost as quick as it respawned. Bad news for the end parasites? Necroroot had one trick up its sleeve still. After the Heisenconvert dies, it gives one final last fuck you and sets off a nuclear bomb, exploding the surrounding area, killing everything in it that was around it and its attackers. Okay, so Necroroot lost. That's gonna be a win for the bootleg and escape and run. So hope y'all enjoyed this round, and let's move on to the next round of the second phase. So yeah, that one went by really fast, a lot faster than I thought it would. It was only 2 infections, so no surprise there. But even then, the bootleg SRP killed Necrobrute so fast. I'm calling the bootleg SRP because that's what End Parasites is. It's just a bootleg SRP. So yeah, but that is going to be the final contestant for the round 1 of the semifinals. So let us move on to that and watch as the 4 infections fight each other for dominance to move on to the finals and see which infection is the strongest. All right, here we are for the semifinals. So because of the way of there being 7 infections left, and I can't split it evenly. We're gonna do 4 for this round, and then 4 or 3 for the next round. You know, I did it for this round to spice it up a little bit because it's desertification and verdant growth, so it's not gonna be like the most interesting against Skullcord, but I want it to at least have some sort of fights between it. So yeah, let us go spawn them, and then I'm just gonna sit up and let it go for a few hours until I get back, and yeah, I'll check it out then. So let me go spawn them down, starting with one of them first. I don't know what. All right, so I've decided I'm gonna start with the desert first, and we're gonna do 2 patches of like 6-ish. One right there, and then one right here. Okay, here we are. Put the final finishing touch, and there we go. Verdant growth has started. Now let's go do a skull cord, or I don't know which one just yet. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so we've came all the way to over here. We're gonna place down skull cord right here. Trigger the survival. Awaken it. There we go. Back to creative. Chuck you. Brain node. That should be fine. Yeah, okay, it's not starting to die. Perfect. All right, let me... All right, there we go. Perfect. And they have all started to spread. So I think to start off with, we're gonna chill over at the desert, if I'm being honest. The desert had spread a whole bunch. The Skulk wasn't happy. It sent the Skulk Phantom over there to try to slow it down and take it for itself. At first, it was working, slowly turning the desert into its own. But shortly after, the desert fought back, not letting the Skulk convert any more land into it, and only letting the desert grow. The Skulk will shortly be defeated by the desert. All right, so it seems like a pretty big fight is currently going on. We got some Skull Cord over here. Some of the thingy, I forget their name. The end parasites, yeah, reshaped long arms, a whole bunch of big on fights going on over here. While the desert has expanded a fair little bit, but it has turned into like the fighting area basically. That's what it seems like. It's just the fighting area where everything goes down. What about verdant growth? What is that looking like? It is looking like it got its ass whooped by Skullcord, is what it is looking like. So there are still only 3 in the run currently. You have... I'm trying to find like where the center stuff was. Over here. You have the desertification. Yeah, Skulk. You have desertification, Skulk, and the end parasite still. So it's still a fight between those 3 to see which of them will end up becoming out on top. Skulk has a whole bunch of land and everything. That doesn't have too much land, but I mean, hey, it has a fair little bit of land. Right, that should be... Yeah, this is This is its land, like where, yeah. It's in a weird ass shape though. What the fuck? That's so weird. I'm gonna chill over here now though, because we've been at the desert for a while. I want to chill at the parasites, watching them grow. And yeah, so I hope y'all enjoy some more time lapse. Off on its own, the end parasites and Skulk were having a fight. End parasites had its own little base area, not big, but the Skulk still wasn't happy. It sent troops after troops to fight. And parasites held on for a while, but it was futile. They eventually died, with the beacon dying, even after non-stop spawning mobs and surviving death itself, by somehow coming back to life and spawning 5 of itself copies of its very existence. But still, the Skulk managed to triumph and overcome end parasites, killing them all, taking over the land for itself. But that wasn't the end of the fight. The Skulk still had one more opponent. The desert. Something it wasn't fit to handle. Alright, that's gonna be the end of that. It's been a fair little bit. It's the next day currently, and desertification definitely won that. I'm not gonna really go look around because it is late at night and I am tired as hell, so I'm gonna go to sleep now. But desertification is going to move on to the next round, the finals. But let's get the next round all done, and then we will see who moves along with it to do the finals. An intense fight between Skulk and Bootleg SRP, and it still ended in a fight in a win for desertification. Desertification didn't have to do anything. It just came in and swooped up the win. No surprise there. It has like a cleansing effect for a lot of the popular infection mods, so I'm not too surprised it managed to cleanse Skullcord. So yeah, it's gonna move on to the finals and let us see who will move on with it to fight against it and see which the strongest infection mod is. My guess is it's gonna be Dulling, but yeah, who am I? Yeah. All right, here we are, round 2 for the semifinals. This time it's only going to be 3 because last time it was 4. So this round is Dulling versus Pharosis versus the Flesh That Hates. So let's get into it and get started. I don't really know how to upgrade the Dulling properly, so we're just going to do this. The last round I'll give him a Stain, but obviously not this round. The Pharosis will get a Dreadmind, and then the Flesh That Hates will get their basic embryo incubator thing, but I'll upgrade it to like the next tier or 2. So yeah, let me go get started with this. All right, so first off, I'm gonna put the Flesh That Hates. Let me go a bit farther away. All right, so first off, we're gonna put the Flesh That Hates like in the middle of this area, right there, perfect. I'm gonna wait to upgrade it till I'm putting everything down. So there that spawns. Let's go move on to Pharosis. Or maybe the Dulling, I don't know yet. Alright, so we're down all the way like in this dark oak area. Down near this like that building all the way far from there. So we're gonna go right here for Pharosis, and there it goes, the Dread Mine. They're in Dreadful phase now and instantly converts everything. Let's go do the final infection, the Dulling, and then we will start the time lapse because I don't have much time right now. Alright, my bad about not talking. I'm just trying to get this shit done. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we are. We're like pretty far from the other two and pretty near to the mansion, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna start the Dungling, and there the core starts. It will start spawning and everything, but we're gonna kickstart it. We're gonna do I'm gonna wait for this to stop real quick. Alright, there we go. We're gonna do a probe. There we go. Missionary, 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 and then there we go. And there we go. They have all started. Let me go find a good spot to start, and I will start the time lapse. The Dungling spread, attacking Pharosis, not letting it spread at all. The Dungling would come out on top against Pharosis. It was like an anime protagonist with its number of abilities it could use, sending out energy beams, heavenly fire, the Dulling would not lose no matter what. It was too strong. Once it reached its final phase, it could adapt to anything, forming a resistance against it. You would have to take the Dulling out early on to win, but neither of the infections did so. At first, they all minded their own business, but that wouldn't last. All right, it has been like 5 hours and a whole bunch of stuff is currently going on. Holy, even behind me. So, from what I can tell, the current two like main fighters are Pharosis and the Dulling. I don't know if the Flesh that Hates is still alive or what. I mean, it has spread a fair bit, but is it still alive is the question. I gotta find it. Okay, it is definitely still in there at the very least. It has points, it's still growing and everything. So, I think what is this? Oh. I think the winners is either gonna be the Flesh that Hates or the Dulling. I don't know just yet. We're gonna have to let them continue going and see which of them is truthfully the strongest. What is this structure though? This seems to be something new from the Dulling. It triggers the boss. Okay, that was like a boss arena type thing. Okay, cool. That is actually pretty cool. So this time I'm gonna come chill closer to the Flesh that Hates to watch them grow, but I'm still gonna have the other two slightly in view. I just don't want it to be as laggy is the main issue. There's a whole bunch of Pharaohs mobs over here. Ooh, damn. So I think right here works. So hope y'all enjoy. All right, so that's going to be round 2 for the semifinals, and now we know who we're going to be in the finals and fight against each other. The Dulling versus Desertification. One mod like more associated with like stronger units and stuff, not too much on like the block infection, and the other fully about infecting the lands, converting it into the desert. Let us see who will win. A force of nature or something stronger than a force of nature, something that devours nature itself, leaving cold, dead worlds in its wake. All right, here we are for the final round between the Dulling and Desertification. Will the Dulling manage to convert this realm into another cold, dead world like all the other they have? Or will the desert take over, converting the world to a sandy, dry world, making it so the ecosystem is completely changed to the desert? Alright, let's get started and spawn them down. I'm gonna spawn down the desert first. I'm gonna do it like over there behind me. So I will see y'all once I get over there. Okay, so we have made it over to the little bird village thing with Oompavith, the sunbird dude. So I'm gonna chuck there, and then I'm gonna do 2 more patches of sand real quick. Okay, I've put some here and there. We got there, there, and then right there. So let's go spawn the Dulling now and see what will happen. The shaders, maybe it will still crash because of Oculus. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, destroy the core. I have destroyed the core. This is completely new. I like this whole bunch. Oh. To pro. There we go. We have the Dulling. It has started to do stuff now. I think the witch is like, I guess not. What is this? Warp mine. I do like the models and everything. They look so cool. Oh yeah, there they go, attacking the witch. I was wondering how long that was gonna take. I cannot speak. Anyway, let me go find a spot real quick to start time lapse at, and I hope y'all enjoy. So. The desert and the Dulling, the final fight to see who is truthfully stronger. The Dulling put out all its stops, attacking the desert, even though it had no corporeal form. It was like an anime fight, non-stop energy beams from the sky. Energy beams coming out from orbs on top of their head, healing allies, buffing them. Unimaginable effects. The Dulling would not go down easy, but neither would the desert. It spread without care. The Dulling couldn't do anything against it. It would have to wait until its units who could eat the very land spawned. Bro, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the hell? What the fuck? I'm gonna go chill for a little bit longer, and I think the Dulling's gonna win though, so we'll see. All right, that is gonna be the end of the time lapse, and it is really, really laggy. Trying to look away so it stops lagging. I think the Dulling wins this 100%. I mean, look at this. They've like created this monstrosity. I mean, but at the same time, they're kind of tied. I guess kind of even when it comes to it. Even though I think the Dulling takes the crown 100%. I mean, look at this. Look how laggy it is. Look at his anime ass abilities, like these fucking laser beams from the sky, key blast from Dragon Ball. There's a whole bunch of whack ass stuff. I do like it though. It looks really cool, but it is like really like holy. Desertification has spread a fair bit. So I mean, like, if we're going on just infection, then it's definitely desertification. But if it's strength, it's dulling. So I do think it's honestly the dulling who wins this 100%. You might call me biased, but I just think the dulling managed to win just because of how OP the mobs are. And like what are you supposed to do against these laser beams from the sky? I literally don't think there's any way you could defend against them. They look cool, but they seem overpowered as hell, and they are lagging my game like crazy. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this tournament. Once again, dulling has taken the strongest infection. I'm not surprised. Dulling's just such a strong infection mod. I mean, it's not even an infection mod, but it just has such a strong infection. It also has a second infection, but like I don't really know if it would make too big of a deal. I'll probably do that in a different video. But yeah, we will check that out in a different video 100%. So thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed, and peace out. Bye bye. All right, no surprise there. The Dulling managed to win. I'm not too surprised. It's literally just like an anime mod, bruh. The fights, the energy balls, all types of shit. It's so cool. I like it, but it's like not vanilla at all. It's like so much stronger than any of the other mods, 100%. But yeah, it managed to win and is still currently the champion for infection mods, being the strongest. Maybe one day one of them will like dethrone it, but currently no mod in the infection alliance can dethrone the dulling. If you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you and remind you to like, comment, and sub, as all three of those things will help me out a whole bunch. And if you have already done those three things and you still want to support me somehow, check out my Patreon and my YouTube membership. The link for the Patreon will be in the description of the video. They both give you access to different perks. Like my Patreon will on the highest tier will let you get access to my unedited videos, and you can also get sneak peeks of my future videos on YouTube. While the YouTube membership at the highest tier will give you access to my videos on early access, and you can also get a shout out for both the Patreon and YouTube at the end of each video. Thank you each and every one of my Patreon and YouTube memberships. Your names will be on the screen right now. Your support means a whole lot and it lets me continue making content with more effort and just in general.